How much money do the richest people in America have? And what family owns assets exceeding the wealth of all these people combined? I will tell you about the most incredible individuals who many consider more important than presidents, because with their money, they can buy entire countries. I'll start with a family not everyone knows, yet these folks control an astonishing wealth of $267 billion. Their main source of income is the famous retail chain Walmart, headquartered in the small town of Bentonville, Arkansas. Interestingly, the Walton family consists of 39 members, among whom the entire fortune is distributed. Over the past decade, the Waltons have sold about $22 billion worth of Walmart shares and donated $11 billion to charitable organizations. Can you imagine? Nonetheless, 7 members of this influential dynasty still hold around 45% of the company's shares. These are the heirs of the founders, Sam and James Walton, who passed away in the 90s. Rob Walton, Sam's eldest son, actively participates in the company's management as a member of the Walmart board of directors. He is assisted by his nephew Stuart and his son-in-law Greg Penner, who not only took over as chairman of the board in 2015, but also became the owner of the NFL's Denver Broncos in October of the same year. Let's not forget Stan Kroenke, husband of James's daughter Ann Walton Kroenke, who adds to the family's wealth through his ownership of 7 sports clubs, including the Los Angeles Rams and Arsenal. The Walton family continues to show stable growth year after year, increasing their fortune. However, this is still a drop in the bucket compared to other participants in this video. Do you know how much can be earned from sweets? Meet the Mars family, whose fortune is estimated at $117 billion. Their wealth is built on the production of sweets and pet food, making them owners of one of the largest confectionery corporations on the planet. This dynasty includes 37 people, including siblings John and Jacqueline Mars, and the 4 daughters of their late brother Forrest Jr., who passed away in 2016. The main activity takes place in McLean, Virginia, where Mars is headquartered. The company manages many iconic brands, from M&M's and Snickers to Ben's Original Rice and Pedigree dog food. Last year, the company's revenues reached $47 billion. Can you imagine? In a year? The company's founder, Frank Mars, began his journey in 1911, selling homemade candies with creamy filling. John Mars, now 88 years old, was the last family member to serve as CEO. He stepped down from the position in 2001. Family traditions are maintained to this day. Stephen Badger, Jacqueline's son, and Victoria, Forrest Jr.'s daughter, continue to sit on the board of directors and actively participate in the company's life. Do you know how much money the former mayor of New York has? Michael Bloomberg, with a fortune of $96.3 billion, remains one of the most influential figures in the global financial industry and philanthropy. As a co-founder of Bloomberg LP, he announced in April his intention to donate 88% of his shares in the company, valued at approximately $92 billion, to his charitable organization Bloomberg Philanthropies by the end of his life. If fulfilled, this promise will be one of the largest private donations in the history of philanthropy. Bloomberg actively supports various social initiatives. In 2022, he donated about $1.7 billion to projects aimed at combating climate change and improving the healthcare system. These contributions highlight his commitment to solving global problems through financial support. Michael also remains an active participant in political debates. In September, he published an article criticizing President Joe Biden's policy on managing the southern U.S. border, describing the situation as a full-scale crisis and emphasizing long-standing issues in the American immigration system. This statement shows his unwavering willingness to take a stand on key social issues influencing public opinion and political processes. Bloomberg was married to Susan Brown, and from this union he has 2 daughters, Emma, born in 1979, and Georgina, born in 1983. He is now divorced and fully dedicates himself to his work. And how can we forget Warren Buffett, the financial guru with a fortune of $133 billion? He remains one of the most prominent figures in the investment world. His nickname, the Oracle of Omaha, highlights his unique ability to foresee economic trends and make bets that time proves to be valuable. Some believe he orchestrates these trends himself. As the head of Berkshire Hathaway, he manages a portfolio that includes diverse assets such as the insurance company Geico, battery manufacturer Duracell, and popular restaurant chain Dairy Queen. This diversified approach helps the company remain stable and grow even in unstable economic times, keeping its eggs in different baskets. A special place in Buffett's biography is his education. He is a graduate of Columbia Business School, where under the influence of his mentor Benjamin Graham, he developed his investment philosophy, focusing on value investing, which became the key to his success. His education continued at the New York Institute of Finance, allowing him to delve deeper into economic theories and practices. In 2010, Buffett, along with Bill and Melinda Gates, created the philanthropic initiative Giving Pledge, urging billionaires to donate at least half of their fortunes to charity. Warren is a very family-oriented man who spent a lot of time with his children, and now that they have grown up, he has turned to philanthropy. He often appears with his wife Susan, openly showing his care for her. A true example of American family values. Speaking of family legacies, meet the Pritzker family, with a fortune of $41.6 billion. One of the most famous and influential dynasties in the business world. Their empire, based in Chicago, Illinois, consists of 82 members and is engaged in the hotel business and investments. A special place is held by the Hyatt Hotels chain, which was founded with the purchase of a single motel in Los Angeles in 1957. The third generation of the Pritzker family has produced 10 billionaires. Among them are notable figures like Penny Pritzker, former U.S. Secretary of Commerce, and Jay Pritzker, the current governor of Illinois, who is also known as the richest governor in the country. In the film world, the family is represented by Gigi Pritzker, director and producer of the movie The Eyes of Tammy Faye, which debuted in 2021. Tom Pritzker, in turn, holds the position of chairman of the board of directors of Hyatt Hotels. In the early 2000s, family relations were strained due to lengthy legal disputes related to the management of trusts. However, in 2005, the family reached an agreement to divide the fortune, which allowed them to preserve and strengthen their business empire. And what about modern technology? That's where the billions are. Larry Page, the co-founder of Google, is a figure whose influence in the tech world is hard to overstate. His wealth has seen significant growth thanks to his company's success. With Alphabet's stock price increasing by 26%, Page's fortune grew by $21 billion last year, reaching a total of $114 billion. This financial success coincided with the 25th anniversary of Google's launch, adding even more reason to celebrate. Page was born into an atmosphere of intellectual pursuit and innovation. His parents, professors of information science and programming, surrounded him with computers and scientific journals from a young age. This early exposure to technology ignited his passion for innovation and business, and by age 12, he knew he wanted to start his own company. As you can see, he successfully did, continuing to advance modern technology. Speaking of new technologies, we can't forget Bill Gates. Though he's no longer the richest person in the world, that's only because of his relentless philanthropy. The co-founder of Microsoft continues to be at the forefront of technological progress with a net worth of $111 billion. His recent efforts have focused on one of the most promising fields of our time, artificial intelligence. In March, Gates described AI as a revolutionary technology on par with mobile phones and the internet, highlighting his belief in its transformative potential. His participation in funding the startup Inflection.ai in June, with an investment of $1.3 billion, underscores his serious intentions. Gates invested alongside Microsoft, which is already reaping the rewards of its early AI investments, including a 49% stake in OpenAI, the developer of ChatGPT. This strategy has proven successful, as Microsoft shares have risen by 31% over the past year. In his personal life, Gates experienced a significant event. He became a grandfather for the first time in March, though he still maintains that spoiling children and grandchildren isn't wise. He has pledged his entire fortune to charity. We'll see if his new grandfather status makes him reconsider. Here's another former leader of the world's richest people list. Jeff Bezos, with a net worth of $161 billion, remains a key figure in global business. The founder of Amazon not only manages this giant company, but also finds time for his personal life. Rumor has it that he got engaged to Lauren Sanchez, a former TV host from Los Angeles, in May. Bezos even immortalized his beloved's image on the bow of his new yacht, Kourou, which is 416 feet long. Bezos' financial standing is bolstered by the rising stock prices of Amazon, thanks to increased profits and efforts to optimize corporate expenses, including staff cuts. Over the past year, his wealth increased by $10 billion, despite donating $700 million in stock to support the homeless and fight climate change. Recently, Bezos announced his intention to donate $100 million to combat the effects of wildfires on the island of Maui, where he owns a home. What do you think? Is this generosity or just populism? And the richest man of our time. Elon Musk remains the wealthiest person on the planet with a net worth of $251 billion, primarily due to his stakes in Tesla and SpaceX. Despite this, the past year for Musk was filled with turmoil and scandals. Musk has been actively involved in global politics, expressing his views on the conflict in Ukraine and the status of Taiwan. He also grabbed attention with his proposal for a cage fight with Mark Zuckerberg, who shortly after launched the social network Threads, competing with X, formerly known as Twitter. Fascinating details about Musk's life emerged in a new biography by Walter Isaacson, revealing that Musk and singer Grimes, with whom he had a romance, had a third child, bringing his total number of children to 11. Quite productive, right? Despite Tesla's shares dropping by 8% and the general buzz around him, Musk's wealth remains stable thanks to the increased valuation of SpaceX, which surpassed $150 billion, and a new package of options worth $5.7 billion in January. But that's not all. Elon secured a $57 billion bonus from the board of directors. Quite a nice addition, right? As promised, the wealthiest family, whose fortune is hard to quantify. The Rockefeller family is estimated to be worth around $2.5 trillion, but the exact number is unknown since many assets are held by third parties. This is why they rarely appear on Forbes lists, despite having incredible assets and being one of the most influential and respected dynasties in the world. Their journey began with John Rockefeller, the first dollar billionaire in history, who started his career at 16 as an assistant accountant. In 1857, he left his job to become a junior partner in a company trading grain, meat, and other goods. Rockefeller managed to accumulate initial capital from government contracts during the Civil War. Then, in 1870, he founded Standard Oil, which 10 years later controlled 95% of oil production in the U.S., setting market prices and rapidly increasing family wealth. In the 20th century, the Rockefellers expanded their influence into the food, machinery, industrial, insurance, and financial sectors. Interestingly, they financed both the German side and the Allies during the World Wars, further increasing their capital. After John Rockefeller's death, his son John Rockefeller Jr. continued the business. In 1913, his father-in-law, Senator Nelson Aldrich, played a key role in creating the Federal Reserve System, despite accusations of family and financial ties with banking circles. The secret to the Rockefellers' enduring wealth lies in carefully organized family capital. They created a family trust, charitable funds, and other financial structures, ensuring that even the most carefree heirs wouldn't squander the family fortune. What do you think about the Rockefellers? Do they really control the world? Share your thoughts in the comments and be sure to subscribe to the channel. And thanks for watching.